Continuing on from the last episode, I continue to install more saloon lining panels after installing the new polyethylene insulation. Where the conduit goes through, I need a piece on the top, in the middle, and then continue below. As you can see, the insulation is not in here. It's back to needing to put that knee into the frame.
Alrighty, where do you want to start?
What my idea is, and the water tank fabrication gets underway. You can rest it on there if you need to.
Where are we going to?
It's going where I am. And I'd like to say a special thanks to Martijn van Meek for becoming a Tier 4 patron. Thanks very much. So here's my little cache of cut out pieces. There's lots of little pieces because on the starboard side where the conduit goes through, I need a piece on the top, in the middle, and then continue below. That's why there's lots of little pieces here. In addition to the fact that I'm making use of each panel so that I'm not wasting stuff. Everything's cut out and numbered. I'm not sure whether you're going to see the numbering. There we go, so that I can put them in place. So I feel like I'm in the middle of a bit of a juggling act at the moment. As you would have noticed, the galley work has sort of come to a bit of a stop. And of course that's for good reasons. I've got the new insulation going in and putting the lining panels on. I have the water tanks on the go, and I've been able to bring the first portside tack in for a dry fit. That didn't work the first time, but on the second time of dry fitting, that has come up very good. And the guys that are making the tanks up for me and are now going to start the starboard side tank. And so what I want to do is have all of this insulation and lining in before the starboard tank comes in. Now I can't do that with this section. As you can see, the insulation is not in here. And the reason is being, it's back to needing to put that knee into the frame. So I need to get that done before I can put the insulation and then the lining on. The other thing I have on the go is continuing with making up those bearers for the galley shelving. And so, as I say, it does feel like a bit of a juggling act, having these different things that I'm needing to prioritise and try to keep all of those plates spinning. Not so easy sometimes. So it's push on and get on with it. So here I am at Miles Plastics to meet Craig this morning to further the discussions regarding the water tanks. Great guys, these guys. They've actually done some other work for me previously for Mistress. Good, Craig. How are you?
Good, mate.
Good to see you.
What's happening?
Okay, fat rolls.
Yeah, okay.
So, yeah, a few things to chat about, eh?
Yeah.
There were three things I wanted to chat about. One we've ticked off, which is fantastic.
Those dimensions there, are they the external dimensions of the tank?
Yes, all of it is external.
Okay.
All of it.
Answers that question.
And I noticed you decided to go for 12 mil.
Yeah.
Which is, from my point of view, good. What my idea is to have the ports over them, right? Reason being...
So there's none on that plate?
What's that?
There'll be none on that plate?
Oh, beg your pardon. Next one in. Yeah.
That's okay.
But the top, I sort of think, 200 mil.
Yeah, that's easy.
Once it's just spot welded enough to hold it together, I'll come and pick them up. On the one hand, it's pretty simple stuff, but the end result's going to be a little bit sort of complicated.
Yeah. See you freshener.
It's a strange note.
Yeah.
All right, well, I think we've done everything.
Beautiful.
But thanks very much for that. Like almost everything with building a boat, because of the complex curves, nothing is easy. It was so great to be able to talk to Craig and go through all the details of these tanks. As good as a well-drawn diagram can be, it still needs to translate as the final material product. It was really great to be able to get things ironed out with Craig and Steve.
See you in the morning.
See you tomorrow. Thanks very much, Steve.
Not a problem.
You right? Yeah. We can let it, as it comes forward, you tell me when you're ready, because we can start to sort of lay it down.
All right, go forward.
And we can rest it on there if you need to.
Where are we going to?
It's going where I am.
All right, keep going.
So you've got to walk down that...
Yep, let's go.
I've got it resting on the leg and holding onto that. That's the way. If you can bring it out a bit, back out a bit. Yep, that's it, it's enough. Will that drop down at your end?
No, it's about 3 inches off.
True. Just going to try and have a look here.
Yeah, no way. Don't want to get that.
That's as much. That's tight my end. So
About a ½ inch off now.
½ inch.
Yeah.
What about that? I can come, or is it just slipped?
There we go.
I've got it.
You sure?
Yeah, I've got it, mate.
Where are we going to go?
Well, I reckon I've got it. I don't know if I have, but have you got any weight?
No, not really.
Okay, I've got it, so don't worry.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's what I think we'll do. I'll be able to lift it up on the back so that it frees itself there.
Yeah, put it back up.
Yeah, put it back up. Let's just flip it down.
You right?
Yep, I'm right this end.
Just going to get that back warm, that's all.
That's it. That's it. Righto, mate, we're done.
It's still at the stage where you can trim it up, so.
That's why I've got it done like this, because I suspected that there would be issues.
Warm down there.
Well, when you're doing work like that, it is. That's one of two tricky spots. We might have to turn it that way. Yeah, like that way to get it down. Just getting these tanks up the stairs, into the cockpit, and down into the boat was a major mission alone. Never mind trying to get this one dry fitted. So I took the port tank back to Miles Plastics where they trimmed off 30 millimeters from the narrower end, and take 2. You right?
You going over that way now?
Yeah. We'll just come as forward as far as we can. This is the not so easy part. Yeah, that's right. We need to.
It's got to go that way.
That's right. Yeah. Is that on your knee? Because it's sort of easier when it's on my knee. Now, just so you know, see those cleats here?
Yeah.
That's where it's got to come up to. Mate!
It's taking a bit off.
Oh, look.
But
I'm happy about that.
it's easier.
Thank you, mate. That's very good. Well, you can see if we left 30 mil there, it would have fit. I allowed 10 mil each end, 20 mil. It was just that.
Just the angle it's on, really.
That's exactly
That's
right.
all.
And the thing is as well, like I was explaining then, you've got this in the way, you got this in the way, you got this in the way. Like.
Yeah.
I
No,
think
it was just the angle. We couldn't manage to wrangle it right.
Exactly. So here it is. It's in. The initial look of it is great. As you saw, I had to get 30 millimeters chopped off in order to get it in. And now that it's in, and having, just measured everything in terms of the ends anyway, it actually would have been fine if that 30 millimeters was still part of the original size once it's in. It was just getting it in, getting it over this bulkhead, having the mast post here in the way, having the side decks. We basically couldn't bring it in above where it needed to go and drop it straight down. I think had we been able to do that, it probably would have been okay. However, removing 30 millimeters in order to be able to get it in without fuss and without wrecking anything is not a problem. It's not an issue in terms of not having that extra space for water storage. That's absolutely fine. And it just means that what I'll do is I'll run some rosewood bearers at each end so that it'll take up the slack. All in all, I am happy. With the starboard tank over that side, that's going to be a lot easier to bring down and just be able to slide straight in. It's just an easier space to get access to. So that one I'll leave, and I'm hopeful that that will slide straight in. So now it's just a case of checking to see that the angles are right on each of those faces and make notes of any adjustments that might need to be done so that the guys that are going to complete this will be able to make any changes if required. But things are looking good. It's touching along the frames here on all of the points. It's touching along the bottom there. On the spirit level here, it's basically level. What would it be? Like 0.5 millimeter in the spirit level. So that is absolutely good enough. So things worked out well. In the next episode, everybody, I get more good frame knees installed, more good water tank progress, and get back to working on the galley. Now that these are done, I can move on with the galley panels and also the lining. Woohoo! Please like, subscribe, hit that bell and share. I'd really appreciate that.